Hello, and welcome to the AccountSight Time and Expense Tracking Initial Setup tutorial. This video demonstrates how new users can quickly customize the company time and expense settings before creating time and expense entries in AccountSight. The first person registering the company automatically becomes the administrator and account owner in AccountSight. You can set up additional users as administrators in the system. Only administrators have complete access to the system setup. Account users with a project manager role can edit or update their own projects. Time and expense settings can also be imported via Excel. Upon logging into AccountSight for the first time, users are prompted to watch the videos for the initial setup. The first step in the setup is to personalize the company information by clicking on the Edit Account button located under the Company Settings sub-tab under the Settings tab. This is not a mandatory step, but it is highly recommended. You can personalize the date and number formats, primary currency, work week, start date, primary company email ID, the landing page for the users, time and expense frequency as weekly or semi-monthly, and the company logo. You will still be able to create invoices in any currency other than your primary currency. If the user personalizes the logo, their custom logo appears on all screens and printed documents. You can control some of the application and security behavior of the application using some of the profile options towards the bottom of the page. Please note that only the account owner can view and update the features and billing information like a credit card for payment and the number of users. Navigate to the Features tab. The administrator can activate or deactivate certain features to add and remove the tab from the application. Navigate to the Billing Information tab. The administrator can update the numbers of subscribed users in the plan, apply the coupon code, and the card information. Changing the number of users will automatically change your plan and associated rate. New account users can update their credit card information before the trial period expires. Under the Homepage Links section, you can provide links on the homepage to import documents such as your company's expense policies, per diem rates, or other policies related to time and expenses. You can edit or remove any file or URL anytime. For your company users to start entering project time cards, you need to set up customers, people, tasks, and projects. Companies doing only expense entry just need to set up customers, people, the category, and the projects. For time and expense entry and approvals, all tabs must be set up. Click on the Add Customer button under the Customer sub-tab in the Time and Expense section to create a new customer. Add the customer name, address, default billing currency for the customer, and payment terms. The invoice payment due date is calculated based on the payment terms. Selecting Custom Payment Terms suggests that the invoicing administrator will enter the payment on the due date manually. To add the customer contact for a specific number, select the contact icon next to the customer name or the Add Contact icon next to the customer name. Enter the required information under the customer contact page. One of the customer contacts can be selected as an approver on the timesheet and expenses in the project setup. Let's navigate to the People sub-tab to set up employees or contractors. You could click on the Add a Person button to add an employee or contractor. I will just show you an existing employee that is already set up. Just keep in mind that the maximum number of persons cannot exceed the number of subscribed users. You can set up users as employees or contractors and assign the person administrator. Fill out the mandatory fields marked using a red asterisk, like name, email, and password. Turning off the Receive Notification will prevent all email notifications, including their username setup in the system. A person's hourly billing and cost information defaults to the project setup, and this information must be modified at the project level as required. We will cover time, expense, and time off approval as well as time off settings in another video. The user can create a unique billable or non-billable task by entering the task name, billable flag, and simply click on the Add Task button. Task rate entry is optional and should be defined if billing uses task rates rather than people rates. Let's see how the expense category is set up. AccountSight provides a number of predefined expense categories under the Expense Types sub-tab. Users can enter a new expense category. Users can also define rates based on categories such as mileage or per diem. If the mileage, per diem, and other rates vary by project, the user can create the project-specific expense types. You can create a new project or copy an existing project from another project and simply change the name. You can also define up to 10 custom fields associated with a project and use them for custom reporting. Let me click on Add Project button to create a new project for a customer that is already defined. Select the customer or client manager, project name. No need to enter project code as the system automatically defines this unique value. Billable or non-billable project type, invoice rate basis, invoice line grouping, and description. PO number and project description is automatically displayed on the invoice if available. Only billable projects have the option of selecting a rate basis. The invoice rate basis can be person, task, or project. When the project option is selected, a flat rate for that project should be entered for the user while billing irrespective of the person or the task. The invoice line group by option is mainly to provide customers a detailed level of billable hours and expenses on the invoice line. If the invoice is being generated for 2 weeks, the weekly option selection will create invoice lines per week per person, whereas the invoice period option selection will create one invoice per period. The budget can be set up as total project billable amount or hours at project, task, or person level. Let's select the project budget option as total project billable amount. Once you select that option, you can also enter what % threshold that you should be notified. You must set up the budget reminder under Reminder Settings to get notified. The budget report gives you the percentage of the budget consumed at any point. A task can be added to the project from the drop-down. The user can change or assign the billable rate of the task at project level. The billing rate for this task at the project level is used for invoicing if task is selected at the invoice rate basis. People can be added to the project from the person drop-down. Each person's billable rate can be changed at the project level. The billing rate for the person at the project level is used for invoicing if person is selected in the invoice rate basis. Save your project. This concludes the time and expense setup tutorial. You are now ready to enter time and expenses. Thank you for watching this video. Please check out our other videos or simply sign up for a no-obligation free trial at www.AccountSight.com.